Hey, Dan Jose, how you doing? I'm waiting for my special guest because we got something important to speak about. Oh, you did? Well, yeah, I missed it. That's good. I mean, the link is in the description. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Don, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Tonight's topic, we're talking about home self-defense and everything, and what to do
Now,
and what not to
what are
do.
we going? Okay, hold up, cause I can't hear you that well. Cause you got the
Yeah,
music playing.
yeah, I
You
know.
have
I
the
have to.
music playing.
Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to. I'll mute the music. Just one
Yeah,
second. Yeah. So me and my friend Pete, we're actually going to talk about home self-defense, what not to do in the process of your homes being invaded by intruders, and what not to do.
I'm still not understanding you well.
All right. So do you hear me better now?
Yeah. So what's the topic tonight?
Tonight's topic is that we're talking about what to do when intruders come into your house. If you don't
Oh,
have
oh,
weapons
oh,
and
yeah.
you only know self-defense, via the martial arts, etc. So I'm just waiting on my guest, so therefore he could actually instruct on what to do because I feel that this is very important since a lot of people have been deleted or unalived by intruders.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes most people in the USA may or may not have weapons to defend themselves. So, what what my friend is trying to, well, one of the guests is gonna try to say is that how you could actually defend yourself if those attacks actually happen.
Now he went completely dead. Is that him or me? Because he just
No,
went
no,
dead.
no, no, no. That was me because
Oh, okay.
sometimes when there's like music in the background and everything like that, I just
Hmm.
mute so therefore I don't get a copyright strike.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I have mace and I have a switchblade. Um,
right,
that I
right.
keep. Yeah.
Hmm.
And so if first thing I would do would get on the phone and call 911. And man, I guess you
Yeah,
would try to maybe throw some things to keep them off track,
exactly.
to the to the
I was actually
policeman.
watching on YouTube. There's content creator by the name of DJ of JD Delay. He was actually saying
Hmm.
that now thieves and intruders have gotten so sophisticated that they actually use jammers. So therefore, if an intruder is going to call the authorities or whatever, they can't.
Hmm.
And then on top of it, if a person has Wi-Fi in their house, they actually block that too. So therefore, there'll be no way for the intended victim to actually contact for help.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
And I believe that because I tell you, these people they are so advanced in technology. So the intruder could actually disable your phone when they're going to enter your house.
yes, or
Lord, how mercy.
disable their victims to actually so they can't actually communicate with the authorities. So therefore, the intended victim don't have
Mm.
anybody to actually help, or how shall I say, or call for help when if that
Now, what about like I have a little alert button? Could they stop that?
what'd you say?
Somebody's calling me. Hold on, I need to
Oh
put
yeah.
my ring volume on mute. God dang it. Mm. Okay, the phone stopped ringing. I was trying to see how I can turn that off. What
Oh yeah.
about me? Like I have an alert button that I keep on me because um, I have a history of falls, and then
Right.
we just have the life alert buttons that people wear on their necks. Can they
Yes.
disable those?
I'm sorry, but
Oh my God!
they could actually disable that also with those Wi-Fi jammers or phone jammers. So I guess they've been had that, but now I guess intruders and thieves are actually putting it to use now. So, and then on top of it, I've been hearing that quote unquote some of these migrants who are actually intruding on other people's properties and etc. They're actually using that thing too to actually gain or disrupt anybody for them to actually fend for themselves digitally.
So the migrants will get smart too with doing home invasion. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, if you really look at it, in New York City alone, they're actually swiping phones. They, they and then they have somebody to actually hack those phones that they just swiped, take out a person's whole financial information, so therefore they could actually send the monies back to South America.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
Mm, mm, mm. Wow. Thanks for the update. Wow.
yeah.
Thanks.
We all have
So
to.
what time is the guest coming on?
I mean, if you really look at it, some from I guess now, since it's 2024, there's like maybe a few select migrants who are actually causing problems within the city, and then on top of it, since some of them belong to a criminal group, which I'm not going to actually mention, but it's been all over the
Right.
airwaves and everything like that. That they have
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, I heard about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So these guys are not like your regular street criminals, how or street organizations here in the United States. They're actually sophisticated to the point that they're doing anything and everything bad. But here in the United States, they're actually focusing on swiping cell phones from people and actually extracting their financial information, so therefore they could send their money back to their cohorts in South America.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah,
Well, when Fidel Castro sent
yeah,
over the people from Cuba, he
yeah,
sent over the worst people,
yeah. He actually opened. He
and he
actually
said it. He said, "I'm gonna send y'all the worst ones." He said it.
exactly. He was
Yeah,
like, "I." He said,
yeah.
"People that want to be here, or people that don't want to be quote unquote with the revolution, get out my country." And that's what he did. And I
Yeah.
believe that Nicolas Maduro might have done the same thing, or these
Mhm.
quote unquote
Yeah.
members of the free organization, they
Cause they
actually
keep saying,
they actually escaped from the prison that they were at, and now they're in South
hmm
America. And on top of it, if they were to even get quote unquote deported, their country don't want them.
yeah,
Therefore,
yeah,
so therefore, let alone in South America, they actually cause luck.
yeah. And then just to think, you allow for sale, they trying to place us and vote. Them
Yeah, I know. I'm
it's
like,
a shame for the good people that have really come over here to really try to wasn't all that it was gonna be. But thanks for letting me know that because I'm not gonna be walking around with my cell phone in my hand. You probably have to secure your cell phones now.
yeah,
Especially if you own, like in Chicago, they have the L, public transportation or the subways.
yeah,
Because if they that good, shoot, about time they take your phone, you can't even, you try to report it lost or stolen, they taking all of your information.
exactly.
Man, wow. Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for sharing that information
Of
about
course.
the life alerts and the
Yeah.
cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know, like by next year, there'll be no more landline phones?
I mean, I could actually, I could actually believe it because think about it. A lot of landline phones, it's very rare nowadays that a person even have a landline phone. The last time I had a
Yeah,
landline
I
phone
know people
was
that
in
still have
2016.
landlines.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What time is your guest coming on?
He was supposed to come like right away, so I don't know if he's still busy. I'm still trying to check up
Oh,
to see if he's coming.
oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna,
All right.
and you know what I'm gonna do is tomorrow I'm gonna go downstairs and tell our property manager this.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that they can disable your life alert.
Yeah, they can because as you know, Life Alert, I guess sometimes they have computer receptors and stuff, but they're actually doing that right now. So I'm just gonna wait for my guest. When I'm up in the mirror, I got this.
Hello, hello. Good, good.
How's everything, bro? Yes, I'm actually very excited for tonight's topic about about home self defense because I believe that everybody who's actually listening need to need some helpful tips because I'm gonna admit not everybody's gonna know everything.
I mean, not everybody knows everything, period. This is where training, practice, and learning comes from. It's funny, but it's not funny. The only thing that's new on Earth is the technology that they're coming up with. But anything that's knowledge, it's passed down from the ancestors, either through a book, through word, through picture. You know, all the knowledge of this earth has been on this earth this whole time. It's just passed down slowly.
Yes, I mean it's even to the point that I'm like, since I guess the political tides and whatsoever, and then you have certain people who feel like that they could actually enter into other person's establishments or their place to live. I actually believe that this information is helpful, so therefore homeowners, business owners could actually better protect their establishments or their places of residence, if that makes sense.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, the mic was off this whole time. So I don't even know what I was explaining.
All right. I guess you could. Well, I guess you could actually explain about. Okay. I guess. I guess what can
Oh,
a
I was
person
saying
do?
the environment and whatever, right?
Right.
I was saying that, believe it or not, boring is safe. When
Yeah.
people say, "Oh, let's go," I'm from New York. So when people say, "Oh, let's go downtown, let's go to South Street Seaport," there's mad people there. I don't want to
Yeah.
go there, not because I'm afraid of jack nothing. It's because I know something's gonna happen, and I might feel enticed to go save a life, intervene, whatever.
Exactly.
Oh, let's go down to the piers. Why? There's mad people there. Let's go to the park. Sure. Why you want to do that? That's mad boring. Yeah, but that's mad safe.
I feel you.
So guess what? With that being said, like how women will say, "Oh, that they fall for the bad guys because they can sense the rudeness and the roughness and the bad guy, and that the bad guy's gonna defend them." Blah blah blah. Meanwhile, the bad guy's gonna end up treating them a certain way, and they're gonna end up alone all over again. And then they say, "Oh, I don't want to get together with this guy because he's such a good guy and he's so boring." Believe it or not, that good guy that's boring is the safer solution for you. You know what I'm saying? Because in the long run, not only are you safe, that he's going to protect himself and protect you, but your future is also guaranteed that, he might hook you up with a better job than you just standing around waiting for the local thug to come back home and shed some, what we used to call that in the game of life, share the wealth, the show the wealth card.
Yeah.
They're not going to always come home ready to share the wealth. You know what I'm saying? Some thugs don't come home. Some thugs go outside to hustle and they get booked. Some thugs
Yeah.
go outside to hustle and they get caught.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They get caught out there, they get shot. You never know. Bad transaction. A lot of things happen.
Exactly. And I mean, if you actually look at it, right? I mean, right now, when it comes to home self home self defense, I ain't gonna lie, and I could actually say that I've actually experienced this. You have a lot of weirdos out here in this society. Weirdos that whatever belief system that they have, or in other cases, certain people they know that the home is your peace, so therefore they just want to invade your home, etc., or invade your peace. So therefore, I believe that this topic that we're talking about, home self defense, I believe it's crucial in today's society that we have to have some tips.
Yep. Very important.
Yep. And I was just explaining to a lady earlier. Shout out to April Showers.
Shout out.
Yeah, I was telling her about how a certain organization from Venezuela and and a lot of other street organizations also that specialize in burglary are actually now having Wi-Fi jammers and phone jammers. So therefore, if a person who is an intended victim of that property crime can actually call for help or
Yeah.
or anything because everything is jammed
Correct.
and thieves or malhechores they actually do that so therefore they could actually get scot clean or whatever they want to do but they actually jam phone signals and I guess Wi-Fi signals so the person who the crime is being committed upon cannot receive for any help. And I actually was learning about this. Shout out to the content creator JD Delay. So
Shout
it's
out.
like, yeah, and I was actually trying to explain to April that these guys are actually getting sophisticated. It's not like I hate to say it, but back in the days, how certain people they just playing whatever, they break in, they do the crime or whatever, they bounce out. Now, since everybody has Wi-Fi signals, and most everybody, not everybody, but mostly everybody in the Western countries have Wi-Fi signals in their house or whatever. They're like, okay, so since that person has Wi-Fi signals or whatever, they're gonna put a jammer and make sure that they actually do whatever they do, but they're actually using the jammers right now. So, and
I
then
was
I was
gonna. I was actually gonna bring that up earlier in the part 4 of the topic.
oh,
With the jammers, because I'm not just gonna talk about in-home security. I'm gonna also talk about things that I know we use in the military. That if in the wrong hands, that's what would happen. You know what I'm saying? But I'll get to that when we get there because everything's in my head like a script right now.
all right, that's good. Because this is my thing. I mean, so like for a person, and I like to use this term, low tech. If a person doesn't have, how should I say, the means of bearing arms or whatever, what low tech devices can a homeowner use to actually defend themselves?
There are that come to mind off rip. There's like five different things that come to mind.
Oh,
Um, there are things that, depending on the state, will be considered non-lethal. And if since you're using it in your home for self-defense, it's not like they're going to charge you with anything because obviously someone broke into your home and you had to use it. Um, right. We all know the typical, put your bat behind the door. But the problem with that tradition is if somebody's breaking through your door and they break through your door faster than you get to your door, now they also have a bat.
exactly.
So it's not like you kept an extra bat in your room and a bat in the kitchen and a bat in the next room, a bat in the bathroom. You're going to become Batman, and you're not going to know no martial arts.
Right.
All right. Bats are an intimidation tool, ladies and gentlemen. Bats are not necessarily the best recommended weapon in a fight. Bats are just intimidation tools. Someone that is trained, that sees you pull out a bat at them, they're going to laugh because the bat only hurts at the extent of the bat at the end. So if I stop your arms from moving forward and the bat never reached me, you never hurt me. But I closed enough the distance to the point where you're grappled and I can toss you, and or throw you. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on what happens at the moment. But bats are
Right.
just a big intimidation tool. If you want to
Exactly.
know what's scarier than a bat, scarier than a bat any day is a machete.
Yes.
A machete, a sword, a bolo, um, a dagger, any kind of edged tool. Everybody likes to be fancy, and everyone wants to see themselves with knives with double edges and all that. But double-edged blades are very dangerous because when it's a double-edged blade, you can't use your hand and or your forearm to counterweight on the sword from the person striking you because that blade, since it's double bladed, is going to cut right through you with the weight.
Mm.
So that's why the machete, I recommend the machete for home defense because the machete has one side that is blunt.
Blunt.
There's nothing on it. So you can use your forearm, the back of your hand, to put, your back of your hand and your forearm behind the back of that blade where it's blunt. And if someone's striking you hard, you can withstand the blow to the point where if they're striking you with a stick, it's going to break on the machete because the machete's going to cut right through it.
Yep.
No. Now, if someone else pulls out a machete on you and you have a machete, this is where training and practice and discipline comes in.
Uh,
You know what angles of attack exist. This is the one thing I know are in sync with every martial art. The movement and combination of movements of how a person can move, how a person can punch, chop, kick, knee, elbow. All those things are the same in all martial arts systems because there's no other movement that the body can do. Unless you're triple jointed and you could pop your arm out your shoulder and do some type of swingy ringy ding punch that no one ever saw in this world, you ain't got a special new move. Everything's been done before.
right.
So here you are with your martial mind and trained calmness. The person has a machete, they're gonna either give you a basic attack number 1, basic attack number 2, basic number 3, basic number 4, stab number 5, basic number 6, basic number 7. You know these by heart already.
All right.
So you're not worried, you're calm. You're waiting for the person to make the move so you can counter, disarm, and neutralize. The threat is over.
Yes.
As opposed to, oh, the person has a machete and I have a stick, but I'm too scared to get close. Don't get close. Wait for the person to get close to you and strike the snake, defang the snake. And that term means to hit the hands. Hit the hands that's holding the weapon. Because if you break the hand, now they can't hold the weapon. They can't hold it against you.
Mm-hmm.
As one of many, there are taser gadgets that help a lot. There are tasers
Okay.
that are stronger than the police tasers. That it's not going to let your person or attacker know that you mean business. It's going to let your attacker know that not to do that the next time because they're going to be knocked the hell out.
Right.
Those tasers don't play. They will knock you the hell out.
Exactly.
There's other non-lethal. There's CO2 air pressure BB guns
Hmm.
that are non-lethal but are great for self-defense because they might not pop a hole in somebody, but those things hurt so bad when they hit, and you're getting hit repeatedly with one of those, like probably 100 or 200 of those. Yeah, you're gonna want to flee the scene because it's like you're getting hit with rocks.
All right. You want to know? You want to know which is interesting? And I actually seen this on 8 Mile and Jackass.
Okay.
All right. So on Jackass, right? Johnny Knoxville and I forgot who else, right? So they do stunt that there's like a whole bunch of I guess paintballs that actually hurt.
I see you, Fatal. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Irby Fatal.
I see you, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, we the process goes on and on because all you're doing is changing ammunition. You're going from bigger size pellets to bigger size pellets to more lethal to more. They have pellets that are pepper spray bombs.
Wow.
And when you get shot with one of those, it's worth it getting pepper sprayed
Wow.
because you're left in a cloud, like a 3-foot cloud of pure pepper spray. You're breathing that in. It's in your eyes, in your ears, in your lungs, on your skin, everywhere. You're a hot mess after that. Emphasis on hot, pun intended.
Interesting.
What else they have this non-lethal? They have the electric balls that they come connected to the gun. It
All
has a
right.
wire. It has a wire, and then no. Hold on, give me a second. Give me 1 second. All right, hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so then you have these. It's like a taser.
All
They're
right.
connected to a gun. When you press it, the ball shoot out, and they have like this thread that connects to each other. Not only do they wrap around you and whatnot, the problem is after it wraps around you, when they lock, they zap. So you get zapped in place right where you're at.
Wow.
You're left in a
Wow.
convulsive mess. Like there's no fight after that.
Exactly.
There's no fight after that. Um, hey, do like me. I have a bunch of sticks.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of sticks, and I'm the weirdest one. Like I'll turn around and pull up and look like this guy, the 10-tailed fox from Naruto. That he had a blade in every joint.
Wow. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
He had a sword in every joint. He had a sword in his hand, another sword in his hand, a sword tucked between his elbows. He had swords tucked between his armpits. He had sword tucked between his knees. I'm like, my man, how many swords do you need?
Wow.
So I'll pull up like that with a whole bunch of sticks, looking crazy. They'll be like, "Who is that?" I am a
Yeah.
cactus, and I'm here to stick you.
Yo, talking about sticks. What is your take on the 3 section staff?
All right. Well, I'm gonna give it the respect it deserves. The Sunset Sukin is the 3-sectional bow staff that's also nunchucks.
All right.
It could have a spear tip at either end, It could have a bolo tip on either end, or it could just be a plain three-piece nunchuck. But
Right.
the more complicated ones are the ones that come in a bow staff, and then they break off into pieces depending how you need it. You don't necessarily need to break it down into three. Yeah, but the name of that weapon is called the Sunset Sukin, and it's a dangerous weapon. Dangerous enough to hurt yourself, so you need to be properly trained.
Yeah, and I know that in the Chinese martial arts, they actually have the three sections staff. I forgot the Chinese name for it, but it was they said that that weapon has been how shall I say popularized like since the 900s, quote unquote. So that's what I read somewhere that a famous Chinese general actually used it in the heat of battle. So
And it's always one of those stories like that.
exactly.
All right, the three-part staff, triple staff, originally from China, is named Sanjay Gun.
Sanjay Goon. I knew it was the last. I knew it was Goon, but the thing is, though, I didn't know the full name of it. I had to make sure because I know that in in certain, I guess whether it's Cantonese or Mandarin, I just know that when it's referred to a bow or a staff, they call it Goon.
Right, which means stick in a sort of way.
Yes,
And then in Japanese, obviously, it says here in Japanese it's Sunset Sukin.
Sunset Sukin. All right.
Yeah, Sunset Sukin. And then yeah, it comes in different formats, different ways. Some of them are a three-sectional bow staff. Some of them are just a three-section nunchaku. Some of them, are both. And some
Yes.
of them have extra utilities, like I was saying earlier. And one might have a point on one end, and another end it might have a ball and a chain as well. So now you're using that as well as a frail weapon, if you will.
All right.
A frail weapon is any weapon that has a chain on it. So if you see a giant mace, it could just be a stick with a ball with spikes. But if it's a ball and spikes connected to a chain and the stick, now it's a morning star, and it's called a frail weapon.
Oh wow. And I know that in the Chinese martial arts they actually have like a weapon which is a string and a dart.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I see people actually do that, and I guess they do whatever techniques it is, it's very interesting. Like you can just do that with the dart and the rope.
Yep. It's technically it's called the rope javelin
Yeah.
or rope javelin. That's wild because a javelin is a huge stick.
Yes.
So it's like, oh no, it's just that piece connected to a rope and let it go.
Hmm. Yeah. But back on the topic. What else can a homeowner do to be vigilant and calm during when an intruder breaks into their house or apartment or wherever or their place of residence?
A lot of people believe that having personal in-home IP address cameras is a safe resource for the house, and it would be if not for military gadgets like jammers, Like you just mentioned them jammers, and I was going to talk about that about now. You
All
know,
right.
there are IP jammers, there are
Mhm.
phone jammers, there are microphone jammers, video jammers. By the time you can see through the camera, if you're in danger, you're already done for because your camera had been disabled a while ago.
Wow.
So this is why having a home security system that's not based on your own panel, you understand? Because most home-based security systems, if they're through a major company, they connect it through the electricity, but they have emergency batteries. So if let's say someone comes to rob your home, and I'm talking about like a regular house, we're not talking about apartments just yet, but a
All
regular
right.
home, a burglar comes and the first thing they want to do is cut the wires off. They cut your power out, they cut your telephone wire out, because the telephone still works even if there's no electricity.
All right.
All right, the regular telephones, not not phones that are connected to a wireless phone that you keep somewhere else around the house. Those
So we're
die
talking
because
about
they
the
need
name.
electricity.
All right.
But a regular telephone that's connected manually to the telephone jack, it'll ring and you can make calls even if it's dark. All
All
right, because
right.
that has its own, it conducts its own electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So just like that, a home system that's connected through a major company, they make sure that even if your lights are cut out, there's an emergency battery inside, and their system is connected to their system directly. So no one can necessarily jam their system using a Wi-Fi jammer because it's not connected through Wi-Fi. It's connected through fiber optic or a cable system. You know, so it's very different from jamming a phone signal, and now your in-home security is disabled. You know, using an IP jammer, and now your IP cameras in the house don't work because your IP address is offline. You
All
can't
right.
call 911 because your phone is jammed.
Mm.
You can't get on a microphone on your radio and scream for help because they have an audio jammer, and whatever you say through the microphone gets jammed out through the outside.
Well, interesting.
Yeah, those jammers are they're an interesting thing. You know, if we go into the science of it, which I don't want to do too much of because I'm not a scientist,
All right.
if the decibels of how a human can hear, of how loud, right? Let's just
Right.
don't quote me on this, but let's just keep it from 0 to 10, right?
Okay.
When we talk in a regular voice, educated people talking to each other, we're talking to each other at a volume of maybe 5 or 6,
Mm.
4, 5 or 6.
All
People
right.
that are irate and talking about maybe sports or politics, they start talking around 7 or 8.
Mm.
Okay,
I did not
people
know
that
that.
start yelling and screaming, they're at 9, 10, and sometimes they bust into the 11.
Wow.
All right, the jammer, what it does is it creates a white noise so strong that it busts all the way to 15.
Mm.
So whatever you say, human ears can't hear because the jammer's already jammed the frequency of how much the ear can vibrate to listen to what it's hearing.
Wow.
That's dangerous.
Yes, it is.
You know, also known as a hearing bomb, if you throw a certain type of jammer detonator into an enemy
All right. Hello. All right. Yeah, I'm not hearing you, Pete. Mm.
one of many things.
All right. I mean, it's like, geez. So, as living in New York right now, Pete, what is your take on on these new on these new, I guess you could call them new guys on the block. You know, the Venezuelans.
Um, what's my take?
Yeah, the ones
I
who are actually doing bad across the country.
This is my thing, bro. The United States allows certain things to happen so that to keep the people at bay somehow. So
Right.
I'm one of those people that I don't like to per se go down too deep into what politics are doing because there's always a hidden agenda. We could have our own personal opinion, but the hidden agenda
Um,
could be so deep that it's way over our head, and we're over here judging it by the perspective of what they're showing on the media, and not by the perspective of these people that have been planning this for a long time.
mm,
You know, these people have generational money. These people have time to wait for whatever plans, Machiavellic plans they have to come to a flourish. You know, they could plant the seed and wait 30 years for it to bloom, knowing that they have enough money and resources to wait for a final outcome. The poor
mm,
people, we don't. We don't have that privilege. We live check to check. You know what I'm saying? Most of the times we need help, and it's not easy because these people are keeping all their money to themselves, and it's money that they don't even necessarily need, but they have it, and no one can tell them to do anything with it because it's theirs.
yeah, I feel you on that.
Shout out to my city, San Pedro de Macorís.
Serie 23 en alta.
I'm gonna say that one more time. Shout out to my city, City 23, because let me
Serie
tell you
23.
something, bro. The politicians that I know from San Pedro are people that have always taken care of the neighborhood. The
Yes.
politicians that I know in San Pedro are people that have always taken care of the community. The politicians that I know from San Pedro have always
Mhm.
taken care of the people. The safety of the people matters to them.
Exactly.
It's not like this country. So when people tell me, oh, who you're going to vote for, it doesn't matter who I vote for. They already know who's going to win because it's already pre planned. It's not like other countries that the vote actually counts.
Right.
In America, your vote only counts as a popular vote. It doesn't count as electoral. It doesn't count as VIP. It doesn't count as anything that's going to move and shake any trees or leaves because we're not big pharmaceutical. We're not big food. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? We're not big tech. We're not
Mhm.
any of those. We're little pawns inside the cogs of this machine. And it's sad. Most of us are woke enough to leave the machine, but when you leave the machine, now you can't pay your bills because only the machine
Exactly.
is providing jobs right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's very sad. You know, there's a lot of commotion in the street. A lot of people are waking up to the truth, but they don't know what to do. And that's what the problem is right now.
Exactly. It's like from what I'm seeing, right? And all these hidden agendas, I guess, is coming to light wherever whatever hidden agendas they're actually being come out of. And it's like stuff that you thought that the general people thought that they know, they actually don't. And then it seems that in this year 2024, a lot of people who are thought of as icons or music idols or financial idols, etc. A lot of truths are actually being spoken. So, and those truths actually have the power to destroy. So, it's very interesting.
I'm
Look
gonna
at
say I'm gonna say something in reference to that.
all right,
I think we may have spoken about this in a different episode of something else, but
all right,
um, those of us that know about the truth and know about the light, know about the dark, we know that there is such thing as selling your spirit, selling your soul, selling your life essence, selling. you know, a certain thing that's a part of you.
Yes.
Um, Sad but true and fearsome and gruesome at the same time. A lot of these people make pacts that where they don't sell their soul, but they sell the next person's soul. And as long as they keep bringing souls, that person's pact will live on for a while. And for some
Mm.
reason, you notice these people on TV, and without makeup, you can notice that they're not aging. Like, how is this person still so young? Why does this person still look like they're this? And it's because of that pact. That pact is keeping them young. That pact is keeping them out of trouble. No matter what they do, they can't catch on to them because they're being protected by that pact. Even
Mm.
Jesus said that one time they try to um they try to say that Jesus was casting out demons with the power of demons. And Jesus laughed in their face and said, if demons could cast out demons, wouldn't that be a kingdom divided amongst itself? And then he said, surely I tell you, de cierto os digo, surely I say unto you with truth, that no kingdom that is divided amongst itself shall prosper.
Mm.
So when you work for the dark side takes care of you. That's just that
Mm.
simple. Same way when you work for the light side takes care of you.
Yes.
So we have people that I'm not going to mention names because they're powerful people, tied with the darkness that
Right.
commit sacrifices on a yearly basis, some twice a year, some three times a year. Some have only commit one sacrifice. Some people only sell their own soul and that's it. But
Mm.
once their time is done, if they're not willing to commit to selling a fresh new soul, their time is up. Their gig is up. Their career goes down. It disappears out of nowhere.
Right.
People magically get assassinated. How'd you get assassinated at a Burger King chilling? Like that you went to go eat. You know, people not just turn up missing, but a lot of things start to come out. Oh, this people was doing illegal human trafficking. Oh, this person was doing this. This person. How did all that go undetected for 15, 20 years? Oh, because it was all under contract. This guy Epstein, we all know about Epstein's Island. We all know how evil that man was. That man had a serial pact of sacrifice where this man was protected and good for years. Years. When they came across Epstein's situation and all his case filings that they came across, he already had been doing that for almost 30 years, give or take. God knows how many innocent people got sacrificed under some type of ritual or demonic blade to keep that man afloat, away from federal harm, away from any type of Interpol, any type of the Marine Corps kicking through doors. Like, bro, I don't know. But as soon as his pact was over, maybe he woke up and felt repentant. He stopped committing sacrifices. Automatically, automatically he got exposed. They came for him. He suicided himself in jail because he wasn't going to be able to live with the consequences. But not to go too far off topic, man. You know, if you serve the light shall protect you. It's really that simple. If you serve dark forces, dark entities, they're gonna accommodate you so you can feel comfortable. But trust me, at the end, it's not gonna be pretty. You didn't do nothing nice with what you accomplished. Don't expect anything in return. Yeah, man.
Yep.
I'm here.
Yep, I'm here too. So did it rain today up in New York?
The who?
Did it rain today in New York?
It rained a little bit, I guess. No big deal.
Yeah, it rained. It actually rained here in Philly also. And then they said it was supposed to rain tonight. I was like, geez, really?
I hear you.
Yeah, man.
Weapons, weapons, weapons. So many weapons.
Yes. But the biggest weapon is what is in your mind.
The mind it's the greatest weapon. When the Marine Corps changed its slogan of hand-to-hand combat to one mind, one weapon, that was when and that's like 2001, 2002. They changed the curriculum from the line program to the Marine Corps martial arts program,
All right.
and the one mind, one weapon because you are a human weapon. You know, you can do anything you want to do, and if you're close to anything, anything can be used as a weapon.
Yes.
So, you know, it can get crazy, or it could just get crazy for a few seconds and you're safe.
Exactly.
I'd rather it get crazy for a few seconds and then I'm safe.
Yeah.
You know, but other than that, you know, in-home security, you know, we got to talk about very important. This is very important.
All
A
right.
lot of people do not have secure doors.
Mm.
And what I mean by secure doors, you must have some type of deadbolt behind your door. You must have some type of pressure rod behind your door. Doors are safe to an extent. The right person with the right weight could knock the center bolt right out of your door hinge. Now all you're left is with the top lock. And if your top lock is the fling fling lock, it's gonna go out on the second kick.
Mm.
If someone's using any kind of heavy blunt instrument like a battering ram of some sort, having a pressure rod behind the door will not just absorb the impact of the blow, but it'll guarantee you at least enough time to wake up and alert your family that an exit strategy is needed to go out if someone's trying to go in through the front door.
Exactly.
And in most cases, people that live in apartments, there only is one door. So that is your entrance and exit. So you must have it pressure bolted, deadlock bolts, and a pressure rod behind. Why? Because that is your in and out. And if
Yep.
someone comes in through there and you don't have the training to take control of the moment and attack your attacker, you're gonna get hurt and your family's gonna get hurt. There's a
Yep.
time when to block and there's a time when to attack. When you're being attacked by someone that's trying to do an in-home robbery, of course you want to lift your hands up and let the person feel comfortable enough that they're robbing you. Because you don't know if they have a gun or not, maybe they do. You don't know if they have a knife in their hand, maybe they don't. But let them feel comfortable to an extent that they're close enough to you for you to disarm them. Or let them feel comfortable enough for you to grab a weapon of your own and knock them the hell out. But you have to make sure that you have a safe strategy for your family. If you have an apartment with 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, you want to make sure that your family is in the farthest room of the house so that they don't even feel no type of ricochet of anything that might happen between the living room and the hallway and going down the line.
Mm.
All right. If you can meet up with the assailant and they think that you're humble enough and you're compliant and you can take them out, great. If you can't take them out, but you can still manage to get help, great. But you want to make sure that your family's out of harm's way, because even if you get hurt, chances are he might think that you're the only person there, and they might leave after you got hurt, and your family doesn't get hurt. It's a small sacrifice to pay. I'd rather get hurt than my family.
Yeah.
Now, call that traditional karate karateka if you want, but I'm a warrior, and if you bring a war to my home, I'd rather you chop my head off than the head of my family.
Right.
So, it's gonna be what it is. What else? We have to,
All
you
right.
have to,
So,
about
all
the
right.
doors. You have to
What?
avoid. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
brother. I'm sorry. Try to avoid leaving spare keys. You know what I'm saying? Around the area. Try to avoid leaving spare keys with strange people that you don't know. The only people that should have an extra to your key are people that you can trust, that if you need that key, they could express mail it to you in a couple of hours. You know what I'm saying? That they're not that close. Some people
Right.
leave keys with their neighbor, and it's like, how well do you know your neighbor to leave your key with your neighbor?
Right.
All right, so back to what you were gonna ask.
All right. So my thing is that okay for a person who might be in the experience if he is getting in if an intruder does come and break into their house and everything like that. And I remember that you actually was talking about it last week on how certain people have bravado when that occurs and everything. So I want to actually tell the listeners or anybody who is listening what to do and how to stay calm during that type of situation.
All right, so what's the scenario? Someone broke in, they're already in.
Yeah, they're already in and they have, you know, pew pew blazing and whatsoever.
All
So,
right, if you don't already have an in-home strategy and you don't have something set up to where you have pepper spray nearby, mace, the pepper balls that I was talking about earlier, if you don't have anything set up, you're gonna have to rely on knowing your home. Now, what I mean is this: you know your house. When you
right,
turn the lights off, only you know the setup of your house.
right.
They don't. So rely on your instinct of turning the lights off to be able to maneuver through the house in a safe format and try to get to something that you could use to attack your attacker.
All right. What else? What other wisdom could you actually bestow on us?
Um, there's not a lot of chance into bluffing. We all know that when you bluff, you're faking it. But if you have a flashlight and you have a pretty good voice, you can bluff that you have a gun, and these people might leave. They might, they might not. That's why it's called the bluff. So bluffing is not necessarily strategic, but it works sometimes. It depends on the conviction that you have.
Okay. What other strategies families can do if that also occur? I'm talking about escape plans. Um,
Right. These are things that come with having a home strategy. When you have in-home strategy, you have an escape plan, depending if you have an in or outdoor. You know what I'm saying? Because if you live in an apartment and the only door you have is your front door, there really is no escape plan. You have to go through what you have to go through at that moment. So it's either get them or get got. But a lot of safety tools or a safety bag, as far as having flare guns, candles, your machete, very important. Very important to have a machete. Very important to have a few box cutters hanging around. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, nowhere where the kids can get them. But if they need to get it, they can get it and give it to you, and you can do what you got to do. There's a lot of scenarios. There's just really too many scenarios. That's why it's better to prep yourself A, that no one can penetrate your fort. Prepare yourself B, what will happen to the intruder if they do penetrate your fort? And then prepare yourself C, what can you do if you can't do anything with A and B and you have to resort to escaping or you have to resort to hiding? Prior preparation, proper preparation. It's we live in a very nasty world, a very evil world, very wicked. And it's a shame that people that work hard, that are humble people, are getting broken into their homes and they're in their house while it's happening, while it's going down. And it's I can see that as something scary. But to the trained eye, it's an opportunity not just to see what you know, but it's an opportunity to defend your family with honor. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, a lot of the martial arts that per se I teach, it's lethal moves and combinations, stuff that you really can't use in the street because you will hurt somebody. But if someone breaks through your door, you can use these moves, as lethal as they are, because you're protecting your house, you're protecting your family. It'll all go down as self-defense. So when you see an opportunity like that, it's like some people's eyes will glow, like, oh, it's time to seize the moment. It is. Let your attacker feel comfortable that they came in. Let them feel like you're intimidated and you're scared. That's fine. Don't let them know how long your arms are. Keep your hands nice and short and close to between your face, chin, and chest. And once they pass a certain line that you know your arm can reach past, let it go. Hit them with whatever you got. Hit them. Hit them with that left. Hit them with that right. I'm saying, hit them with that headbutt. Hit them in the stomach. Disarm them. Once again, like I said, it really boils down to practice and training. It's very important. Yeah. Oh, besides the doors, obviously, it's very important for you to secure your windows. That should go without saying. Most burglaries happen because, they broke through a window, or they took a ladder and they went to your second floor window that's not locked, and they went in through that window because it wasn't locked. Once again, things that you don't have to per se worry about if you have a state of the art grand market, security. Because everything is accounted for. Every window, every door. They see the house. They see who comes close. They identify if it's you or not. They notify the authorities. Being who it could be, because not always is the authorities is not always the police. Sometimes it's the sheriff's department. Sometimes it's Homeland Security. I'm saying? Sometimes it's the Army. Sometimes it's the National Guard. It all depends on what's going on. Yep. You fell asleep, bro? Sounds like you snoring. You. Chad, I think we got a snorer. He's gone. Oh, wow.
Hmm?
Yo, yo, yo.
Yeah, I mean, I had to mute because outside noises, etc.
It sounded like you were snoring. I'm like, oh, we got a sleeper.
Nah, all right. So another thing, what tactical plans that a family can do in case of those attacks do happen?
Um, Depending on how many bedrooms, it would be convenient for every person in the house to have some type of stick or some type of blunt weapon that they could use to protect themselves and or protect the next person in the house. Because if an attacker comes into your home, they're not gonna always necessarily attack one person. They might try to attack everyone. They might try to attack a certain individual. And if they're focused on one person, someone else can come from behind or from the side or whatever and attack that attacker. And that's one way of preventing, a very serious attack in the house.
Yeah,
Yep. Yeah. What about animals? See, here's the thing. Unless you have a trained animal, your animal could be targeted and be a victim. And animals, if you're a real animal lover, a real pet owner that really loves their pets, animals hurt just as much as family. And that could cause a lot of conflict in the family to where now you have members in the family not just traumatized of what happened, but now they're traumatized over the fact that they lost their family pet. And it's a whole show. I try not to rely on the safety of an animal to keep me safe. You know, it's nice. It's nice to have a dog bark, and probably keep your attacker at bay, but not everybody's scared of a dog. Someone that's wielding a knife, a bat, a machete, a gun, they're not scared of your dog. They're going to hurt your dog. They know the dog's going to hurt them.
right.
So I'd rather not deal with the loss of a pet because I had a pet as a security animal.
All right. The reason why I say that is because when it was like they showed a video, I think it was like maybe 8 or 9 months ago, of a man that tried to abduct a young teenage or young girl whatsoever. So when the brother went and fought off the would be um the would be abductor, the dog who was, I guess, little whatsoever. A lot of people are making jokes saying, "Oh, the dog didn't do its job," etc. you should throw the whole dog away whatsoever because that dog did not do, I guess, what it's supposed to do. So that's why I actually ask about the animals because I know that certain people they have dogs that are natural protectors or even cats that are natural protectors.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said before, I don't necessarily want to endure the family catastrophe of having to deal with my kids of, oh, you remember our dog so and so? Yeah, they were barking at the bad guy, and now we don't have Barky no more.
Right.
Which is sad because it's collateral damage. These are things that can happen. These
Yeah.
scenarios happen, and they have happened before. Um, the best way to secure your home, besides trying to keep it well protected, is personally being a person of integrity. If you're someone that's walking in the street trying to act like a tough guy and being a jerk, you're not keeping your family safe. You're making yourself a human target, and you're making your home a site of something bad to happen.
Mm,
So
interesting.
if you want to keep your family safe and your home safe, don't act like an idiot in front of people and not expect that you're going to find a stalker that's going to stalk where you live at and then bring it to your family since they can't bring it to you.
Right.
And that's the sad truth.
Yes, it is. All right. Another thing. Oh yes. There's another question that I have to ask.
Yeah.
So, since you're militarily trained and everything like that, and you know certain people who are militarily trained, like if, if I'm just saying for just regular civilians, I, like if a military person was actually being accosted by intruders, what would be the military answer to that? I'm just saying. I'm just saying for all branches.
I know for the Marine Corps, the first thing we're going to do is kill, kill, kill.
Right.
Um, because we say that there's no better defense than a great offense. But when it comes to in-home security, when it comes to you trying to keep your house safe as a militant, you know, personally, we keep our weapons close to where we lay at. So if you do break through that door, by the time you reach me, my bullet reached you.
Mm,
Right? And it's sad in most cases because even most militants don't have a well protected home, feeling overconfident maybe that, that they have, special training. There comes a time in a man's life where training doesn't work. It's called being fatigued. It's called being starved, and it's called um, everything in between. Stress of life, becoming old. Once you become old, a lot of the stuff that you used to gear to in martial arts, if you stop practicing at any given moment, you can't use it anymore.
right.
So you need to rely on certain things that will excel your training and will extend yourself, which is what a weapon is. A weapon is an extension of yourself.
Yes.
So with proper training and this extension of yourself, you can protect yourself, protect others, and you can keep an attacker at bay. Sometimes you're not going to have the privilege of being able to hit that person with the machete. But at least you pulled it out and they know you meant business and they decided to run. Hey, that's the battle won.
Yes.
You know,
I, I mean, I'm talking about the machete. I remember a story back in the day. This I don't know how long it was. There was a store owner, and of course, in New York, certain store owners didn't have like the right arms or whatsoever, and especially the store owner of the bodega in Queens, he was Dominican. So the robber went and tried to rob that store. Apparently, the man actually pulled out a machete and he went to work on the robber. Where they even actually showed it on the news that the guy actually had his ear split after the store owner went to work on him. So I've heard stories.
I've heard stories that didn't end so well, and I've heard stories of great victors. You know, it really boils down to preparation because the mind needs to be at ease for it to function properly. If
All
you're
right.
under pressure and you can't work under pressure, then you're gonna shut down under pressure. That's the only thing you could expect to happen.
Mm,
But if your mind is at ease, you can think well, you can be coordinated, you can see the weakness in your opponent. Oh, the person's foot is way too close to me. I'm gonna keep my hands up, and then I'm gonna step on their foot, and I'm gonna do what I have to do from there.
all right. Interesting. Another thing that I will always ask, and I've heard that there's two sides of the story when that happens, is that when it like now when it comes to the actual intruders or whatsoever, like say if a person lives in a house or or if the family has a plan, what like say if they live like maybe in a hilly community or anything like that, what natural advantages do homeowners can have as far as them planning to get away or what have you?
Well, one natural advantage when you have a lot of land like that and you live in a big house, you're in the hills, keep
Yeah,
your house well lit. Keep your house well lit. Let there be light everywhere around your home to where no one can get close to your home without being seen. If your house is well lit, most likely they're going to stay away because nobody's trying to get caught.
okay,
And if you're feeling lucky, and you don't have little kids, because that's the problem with setting per se booby traps. If you set up booby traps and you have kids, your kids are going to fall in those booby traps.
all right,
you know but if you don't have kids, or you keep them in a certain part of the house and they don't go to certain areas outside of your home, you know it's your property. Booby trap it. You know what's what, you know what's where. Okay,
exactly,
you know what's where. Someone falls in that booby trap. Hey, you weren't supposed to be here. Yeah, but you blew up half my leg. That seems a lot of like your fault.
exactly.
So
Yep. I heard talking about booby traps. I've heard a story. I heard a story that the courts was actually trying to put I guess the gun shop owner in jail because I guess the booby trap that he had is deemed illegal and the would-be thief lost his leg after he accidentally stepped on a bear trap. So
All
one
right.
thing,
I mean,
yeah,
there's a technicality there,
all right,
and the technicality is that it's a bear trap.
all right,
So it doesn't matter if you had good intentions or bad intentions of going to that place. Just for the fact that you got your foot caught in a bear trap, that's brutality. That's man one. That's brutality.
all right.
And it's crazy how the law will protect the assailant at that moment.
Mm,
But there's also booby traps of gun owners and gun shop owners and stuff where if you try to rig through the door and it's connected to a shotgun, you receive a shotgun blast as soon as the door opens, and they try to make that illegal as well because they're saying that that's excessive force.
all right.
It's manslaughter as opposed to it being self-defense of the home.
All right, so talking about home defense and everything like that, this is the next part that I'm trying to say. If if a person is going to protect their home and everything like that, like should the homeowner actually look at the state laws what they can or cannot do? Because at the end, because gun owners they actually have a manual about that, but then you have certain people that are not knowledgeable in the law, and certain things may or may not happen. So, what is your advice to homeowners and property owners in that aspect?
So homeowners and property owners that don't have what per se.
Let's say if they don't have the adequate tools for home self defense.
I mean, listen, if you need to go primitive, you have to go primitive. Go out into the world, find yourself some wood, find yourself some sticks, find yourself some pieces of tree. If you have to go primitive to put a log behind your door, if you have to go primitive to find a nice stick that you can use to fight or poke somebody's eye if they're trying to come through your door or through your window, listen, man, it's gruesome, but it is what it is. You want to keep yourself and family safe. So if you have to, use primitive technology to the point where you have to go get a book bag and go out into a park and fill it with rocks, and you have rocks in your home just for in-home security, so be it.
All right.
That's where sticks come in handy. Everybody has a broom and a mop. Learn how to use the bow staff. Learn how to use the double sticks because guess what? Most bow staffs break in half. And when they do, guess what? Now you got two weapons. It's more fun to play with.
Exactly.
So, chairs are great weapons. Chairs are great weapons, especially if they're made of metal or some type of extra hard plastic.
All right.
You put the four legs towards your assailant and you thrust back and forth. And wherever those things hit, they're going to hurt, they're going to scrape, they're going to bruise. If the person tries to swing at you, you can use the chair to defend. If it breaks into pieces, you grab the pieces. Those pieces cut a lot
Yes.
because they were broken in a way that they weren't supposed to. So now that edge corner or whatever, that point, very lethal, very deadly. Protect your home, whatever force necessary.
Yes. Now, I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna go off the deep end because you and I we might have experienced this or you might have seen people that have done this in the past. All right. You know, like in certain communities, that that certain people they do not actually think straight, right? So, what will a homeowner who lives in one of those communities that people don't think straight and they have like a mob mentality and you see like a whole mob trying to intrude into your place. What what can homeowners do in that instance if it's multiple attackers? I'm saying like maybe in the case of 10 or 20. And they yes. But you know that it has happened in Latin America and in certain places in the United States also.
And you only have one door.
Yeah.
All right, that's the beauty of the kitchen being close to the front door. Have pots on your stove, you know, ready for boiling time, and throw some boiling water. Grab that jar of your pepper in the kitchen, take the cap off, and throw it in the air and cover your nose and mouth.
Mm.
Paprika, same thing. Let it rip. Flour, same thing. Let it rip. But don't breathe it. Let them breathe it.
Right.
You know what flour does, right?
What it does.
I mean, once again, shout out to San Pedro Macorís, because I learned how to make bread in San Pedro.
Nice.
All right. So when flour touches water or anything liquid, it becomes a new type of particle. The texture automatically changes. When it goes from a dry particle to a wet particle, it's something different.
Right.
Okay. So now this person's breathing this flour in the air, and it's becoming dough inside their throat and lungs.
Wow.
It's kind of a wrap. I mean, it might not kill them, but it's non-lethal and lethal at the same time.
Got you.
Um, what else is a good? You have your occasional barbecue sauce. If you have the proper ketchup dispenser, the ones that have the fine needle, when you press that, the pressure is good to somebody's eyes. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a regular ketchup bottle, it's not going to work.
All right.
Um, what else is in the kitchen cabinet? There's so many things in the kitchen cabinet. You know, I mean, you might have to buy a new one, but hey, your coffee bowl, the coffee where the water comes down in the coffee, yeah, perfect glove. Bam.
Yeah.
Oh, the kitchen is full of stuff. You can grab a knife. You could grab a cutting board.
All right.
Put the cutting board on one side, the knife on the other. If they're attacking you, defend with the cutting board, attack with the knife, or with the meat tenderizer, or what's that thing called? It's just like a rod for you to sharpen the blades.
Right.
And it's not really a knife, but it goes with the knives.
Oh yeah.
That's a great blunt weapon. Like you could use that and forget about it. You know, you could disarm somebody quickly with that.
All right.
Let's see. I'm just going through the rooms. There's a bathroom before there's a bathroom before they can come to where the doors are. Yo, you go into the bathroom, grab your shampoos and stuff, throw shampoo on the floor. They can't see it. Remember, you turn the lights off.
Right.
You throw that shampoo on the floor, let them slip to smithereens. And then you come in for the attack. Disarm. You engage. At one point or another, you're going to have to engage. unless you're one of these people that, um, like me, I believe in the Lord 1,000%, and I believe that He'll protect me in a situation like this, and I believe in miracles. But I
Yes.
also believe in what He taught me. I also believe in what I've learned in life. So I'm going to apply that in motion, because faith without motion is dead.
Yes.
I'm not trying to die here. I don't want my family to die either. So at one point or another, I'm going to have to attack my attacker.
Yes.
It's just more convenient if more than one person in the house has the proper training so that we can all attack at the same time.
Hmm. Right.
There's no better defense than a perfect offense. And while they think that you're sad and pathetic and puny because they have a little weapon in their hand and you're playing it cool like you're scared, when the tides turn and they see that, oh wow, we invaded a house that has monsters in it. Yeah, now you're messed up.
Yeah.
I'm not inviting it, but someone tries to break in here, they're gonna have to deal with the judo kids. My these kids know how to grapple.
Wow.
If they could make me submit, they're gonna make somebody submit.
That's a great skill to have.
Oh yeah. Conjunction pressure points, the pressure points between the wrist and the fingers, the pressure points of the elbows and the bicep, the tricep, the shoulder, the pressure points in the neck, the pressure points around the mouth and gums, the pressure points under the jaw, the pressure points on the temple, you know, they're they're important to know because a knockout is simple. You just need to know where you're hitting at.
Exactly.
And if you want to knock somebody out without bruising them, it's really simple as well. Like if you were to look at your hand and just lower your thumb, that ball that's in between your thumb and your index that's made there, that's strong enough to knock somebody out. And if you were to back slap somebody in the back of their neck and you hit them with that part of your hand, they will knock out and you won't bruise them.
Mm.
As opposed to knocking them in their face and bruising them, and now you have to deal with two charges.
Right.
It's called a friendly knockout,
Mm.
and there's a couple of those. There's friendly knockouts where you grab the person by the forearm and you press a certain place, and their circulation dies out for like 5 seconds, and they knock out.
Mm. Interesting.
Yeah, also goes with the neck and shoulder. There's nerves, large intestine number this, large intestine number that. There's nerves that if you press them properly, it'll cause the body to go into shock and shut down. And if you're shut down for 10 seconds, that person can do whatever they want with you. If they let you live, it's because they're being honorable.
Right.
So people got to think about that when they bump into someone that knows martial arts, and like, oh, this person just incapacitated me for 10 seconds and let me live. You should thank that person.
Yep.
Because if they incapacitated you for 10 seconds and it only takes 2 seconds to kill somebody, you've been blessed with 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Plain, royal, and simple.
Mm.
But yeah, that'll definitely be a part two continuation to in-home security and whatnot. Because there's a lot of things that we need to prep for. Having a good first aid kit, having a good flash gun. These are things that people see as insignificant because you only need a flash gun when you're in the water. But having a flash gun in the home can really protect you against someone trying to come through your door.
Yes.
Because you don't want to get flashed. It burns.
Right.
It's It's gunpowder that's ignited and it's burning, and it'll burn through your clothes and it will start to burn you up. It's not cute.
Mm.
You know, like I said, there's other gadgets that are on the market. Next week, so as a continuation, next week, I'm going to talk about 10 in-home gadgets that you can buy on Amazon that could protect your home and family if something catastrophic were to happen. You know, people coming through your door, through your window. You know, if you're expecting the worst, you need to be able to be ready to do the worst to protect your family.
Exactly.
That's all
And
I can say.
and the thing is, though, I'm glad that we had this conversation because I've been seeing a lot of people that they know what they're doing, and I've seen a lot of sad stories within that process. So my my thing is that I want to actually prevent less of the sad stories, and I want people to actually become victors. I mean, or triumph during that situation.
Yes, man. I want to hear more victory stories of, you know, I defended my home and everyone is safe and no one got hurt, or maybe I got hurt but I still protected my family. You know, whatever. You know, and
Right.
I'm not gonna say per se that we don't hear a lot of those, but you know, we're in this part of the country where, let's say New York is a not defend yourself state.
Mm,
You know what that means, right? That means that they don't want you to defend yourself.
they don't.
If you're gonna get hit, punched, stabbed, or shot, they want you to just get shot and let the police handle it. I'm like, what if I could have avoided that? Oh well, that's self defense. I'm like, yeah, but you said you don't want me to know self defense. Well, technically, we
Yeah.
don't want you to, but if you know it, you know, use it.
Yeah. The same thing with Bernie Getz, where a lot of people they actually commended him for defending himself in the train. But it goes to show that certain people are that they don't want people to actually defend themselves. Just like I guess the current mayor of the current governor of New York, when when they actually passed that law about people owning their own arms and everything like that, she went up and made a big fuss. I don't know why. When the fact is, you hear a lot of people who are victims of subway assaults, etc. But yet, you make it so hard for people in New York alone to actually defend themselves the right way legally. So I believe that is going to be an uphill battle. Well, here in Philadelphia, a person who I guess meet that criteria. The thing is, though, yeah, everybody talks about Philly crime, etc., right? But the thing is, in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania in general, you have people that actually have their right to bear arms, and you might hear incidents, but then you will hear more incidents where people fought back against the attacker.
I mean, yeah, PA is a defend yourself state. You know, they want you to defend yourself so that they don't have to defend yourself, so they don't have to go and defend.
Right,
They'd rather deal with the paperwork than pull up and draw their gun out to defend you.
right,
Um, which I guess is fine, even though in the back of my heart I feel like that's lazy.
yeah,
I feel it's lazy and unbrave. Shame on them.
right,
But I approve of the fact of let me defend my home to my fullest extent, and if I do happen to kill someone for the protection of my home, let me be saved by a law that protects me. You know, for bearing arms at home and for protecting my home.
right.
So, you know, shout outs to PA for that.
Yep. It's like But right to the point, right? When politics is involved and everything like that, home self-defense is actually comes to play most of the times because you have one side saying, "Well, they're trying to take away my right to bear arms," but you have the other side that want to actually tell people, "Oh, you're wrong for bearing arms. We live in a quote unquote civilized society." I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But then again,
Arms. The right to bear arms. I think it was Ben Franklin who added that to the so basically the right to bear arms came from Philly.
hmm
I don't think it came from Virginia. It came from Philly.
yeah, because if you were located, Pennsylvania is actually named after William Penn. The only people I could say that I guess won't be bearing arms in Pennsylvania will be the Amish. Congrats to them though.
You think that the Amish don't have guns? That's what you said?
Nah, I'm just saying that, like, they're like, okay, for example, I know that Amish will have guns because, let's face it, if the Amish live a certain way of life, right? They're not gonna go like us. We're gonna go to the supermarket and everything like that to go get our meat. So they're gonna go get it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, they might use a rifle. Most of these people own Mossbergs.
Exactly.
So these people are riflemen. They just don't bring it to the city with them. But trust me, they have a knife. They have a knife under that garment. They're not. They're not. They're not cowards.
Mm-mm. And then on top of it, like near where my mother-in-law lives at, I'm not gonna go disclose the place, but she be telling me that she be seeing deer and turkeys.
Deer and turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not only just a good hunt, but it's big game. And one of those can last a family a couple of days. So
Yeah.
that's a win-win.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to how we go to the supermarket and get 3 pounds of meat. So to feed the family, these people go and hunt and get 48 pounds of meat, and they feed the family for a whole week,
Yeah.
and it costed them 10 cents.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's easy to be rich if you own 200 chickens.
Yeah. Pretty much. But I heard that but the houses are expensive also.
Yeah, but they're also expensive maintenance.
Yeah.
Chicken maintenance is not so much.
Or turkey maintenance in that aspect.
And that poultry.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's me. If the Dominican Republic had more turkeys, but then again, that's an afterthought. So therefore,
I don't know, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I think there is just about as much turkeys as there is chickens. They just don't talk about it so that it could be more expensive.
yeah. I think it's like the same way with sheep too, because I never seen a sheep in the Dominican Republic. All I do is see is pigs, goats, and cows for the most part. The only time I seen a deer in the Caribbean was when I was in St. John's. To be honest,
San Juan de la Maguana.
no, I'm talking about St. John's, the Virgin Islands.
Oh, you mean actual deer?
Yeah,
No, I haven't seen actual deer in DR either.
yeah. Even though
I
there's
think
some
they ate
reports
them all, bro.
that they're there, but I never seen it a day in my life. But I haven't been to the north either, so I can't really speak on that.
I think they ate them all, bro.
Or they have them in hiding.
I think they ate them all, bro. Honestly, because you know, I see goats everywhere. There's goats everywhere. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But deer, nah, they don't be around.
Mm-mm.
You know what I've seen in DR that people don't see every day? Dolphins.
I mean, I think I saw that. I think I seen that once. I just don't know where though. But
And
I'll
Sosua.
know the Dominican Republic.
And Sosua. I was in Sosua and I saw some dolphins and some whales and whatnot.
Mm,
It was pretty cool.
nice.
It was pretty cool.
Mm,
Yeah, man.
yep. So another aspect I'm going to ask you: how is home defense different here in the United States than in the Dominican Republic, where we're from?
Wow. The difference is day and night.
All right.
Because I mean, the Dominican Republic, bro, there's houses that are made of just wood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That there's nowhere for you to do anything or hide. I mean, your enemy can literally just burn you inside the house. You can't do squat.
Yeah.
You know, there's houses that I've seen myself made of just zinc. You know what I'm saying? And that's also a hot pot. I'm saying they're
Mm,
burning stuff on the outside. You're gonna cook in there like an oven.
mm, yeah.
It's very home security in Dominican Republic is very different. You know, to the extent where most delinquents know a poor house and don't try because it's not that it's just gonna be a waste of time, but you know, if the town folk catch you, the community, they're like, yo, you're trying to steal from a poor person. I
Vigilante
mean, trying to
justice.
steal. Period. They get at you in the community. They get at you bad.
Oh yeah, I've seen pictures, meaning that not pictures, I mean videos where the community they actually tie the thief and they take turns hitting them like a pinata.
Oh yes, yes they do. I've seen it.
Yeah, if I was living in the Dominican Republic, that'd be the worst place to ever go and do that disrespectful action.
It's wild, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie I saw the first one where you had these rogue assassins how you did the dirty work for the cops when it came to thieves, delinquent, etc. I mean, I don't know how actual it is, but I've heard stories before that movie came that you had certain people who are like that. I
Yep.
mean, at that time.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's different. But I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to log out. I'm gonna part two of
It's
home
gonna be
defense. We'll
Tuesday.
we'll continue next Wednesday.
Exactly.
Um, I'm gonna talk about 10 in-home gadgets that you can get from Amazon
All
that
right.
are state legal, that are non-lethal, and will defend you to the extent that it's needed.
Right. Yeah, we all need that.
Yeah, man. So being safe is important.
Yes.
We all hear the term "better safe than sorry," but a lot of us don't really know what it really means
Until we actually put in that situation.
until we actually approach that situation. Now it's a whole different ballgame.
Exactly.
But you already know, my brother. Until next time,
Bruce.
blessings to all, and may the peace of the Lord be with you.
Amen. Well, that's it, folks. Check out part 2 next week. So, adios to everybody. And this has been Open Topics with Don Armando, the martial arts edition. Peace.